Welcome to the Building Materials Sales and Marketing Podcast, presented by Mark Mitchell, a sales and marketing consultant who specializes in helping building materials companies overcome difficult sales problems. Mark is the author of the book Building Materials Channel Marketing and a frequent speaker at industry events.
Hello, this is Mark Mitchell from Wizard Strategy. I just got back from the Builder Show last week and the Roofer Show the week before that. So it was a lot of miles of I chalked up walking on those hard concrete floors, but seeing a lot of things and learning a lot. A number of things I'd like to share with you. At the roofing show, the first thing that I saw were the companies that were doing the best job to me with their exhibits were talking about how their product or working with their company will save labor, which is a very important subject for contractors like roofing contractors. Those were the companies that, to me, had the most on-target message. There were a lot of other companies that had the typical, my product is better than the other guys, which to me is not very effective in today's world. Then I went from Nashville on to Las Vegas and went to the Builder Show, and I saw much the same, except it really hit me harder, the amount of change and disruption that we're going through today. I got invited on the first night or the night before the Builder Show opened. I got invited to an event that Katerra put on, in which they had their senior executives get up and talk about Katerra, talk about what they've accomplished, and talk about some new products that they have developed, and just kind of an overall state of Katerra. I just want to say it was truly amazing. It really continued to open my eyes about the change that we are going through right now and how you need to be awake to this. The first thing that hit me was I was so impressed by the leadership of Katerra, the people who got up and spoke. I could see right away that they are not limited by traditional thinking of this is how we either make a building product or this is how we design or build a building, and how do we do that a little better. They are free to blow up the whole concept. And it was it's pretty amazing to see their mindset, how they approach problems, and the results they're getting. There's this old saying, it's you can have things faster or better or cheaper, and you can pick 2 out of 3. But they literally got up and talked about they're going to deliver homes, buildings, construction, and you're going to get all 3. When they look at a problem, they say, how can we do this faster, better, and cheaper? When you take that mindset on, it's pretty amazing what they can accomplish. There were things that they're right now very focused in multifamily and areas like, I think, hotels and maybe dormitories for schools, areas like that. But they'll soon be moving into single-family homes. And there are some other companies like Integra that are already there in the single-family home area. But what's hard for a building material company to, I think, grasp is how the depth of change that they're looking at, where I think that typically in the industry, it's easy to feel limited, like this is how a shingle is made. This is how a shingle is delivered from the manufacturer to the job site. This is how a shingle is installed. And they don't think that way. They start with what is the purpose of a shingle, or what are we trying to accomplish? We're trying to protect the structure from, we'll say, moisture, perhaps from ultraviolet. Perhaps we're trying to provide an aesthetic look on a steep slope project. And they start with there and say, what would that look like? It doesn't have to be a shingle. And so when you think that way, it's pretty amazing. So, for example, if they find that the shingle industry isn't delivering or isn't solving the problems, they will just go invent a new roofing material and then make it themselves. So it is pretty wild, what they're doing and what they're going to do and how they're going to shake up the industry. And at the Builder Show, then when I spent some time on the show floor, and I talked to a number of builders, And a couple of quotes that stuck out to me from builders. One builder said, Mark, I can sell 700 homes a year. I have customers who will buy 700 homes from me a year, yet I can only sell 600 homes because I can only find the labor to build 600 homes. And even that every year is getting a little tougher to find the labor to build 600 homes. And that kind of resonated with me. Okay, what's that builder going to do? They're going to continue to get smaller. They're going to raise their prices. Or are they going to find a different way to build homes? Another builder laid it out for me this way. He said, Mark, I have 3 competitors in my market. We all build very comparable homes at the same price point and cost. If you were in my model home and one of my competitors' model homes, you would be hard pressed to tell me whose home you were in, because we all have granite countertops. We all have fireplaces. There's a certain benchmark of what you have to have in terms of square footage and in terms of layout and in terms of amenities, and we all have the same thing. So let's just say that I'm building a $600,000 home, and I have 3 competitors who are also building $600,000 homes. And let's say that those homes cost us $550,000, and so we hope to make a $50,000 profit. So my question is, the builder said to me, what will happen when one of my competitors starts using a factory builder to build his homes? How will I compete when my competitor has now homes that cost less but offer the same amount of square footage, the same amenities? They're built faster. In other words, I can close on the sale and get the homeowner in sooner, or he can. And actually, they're delivering a product of higher quality because they have the quality control of building something in a factory versus on a job site, and you're not sure which installer is going to show up on Monday to do which project. How am I going to compete with that? So those are things I see builders in their minds are starting to think about it. But when I was at the Builder Show, I kept seeing companies who continued to say, our products are better. And that's way down the list right now in the builder's mind. He isn't looking for a better product. He's looking for companies to partner with, companies that can guide him into the future as the builder's going to be facing all of these challenges, which frankly are quite exciting. They're going to be a challenge, but they're exciting to see that our industry finally is going to get serious about reducing waste and inefficiency. It's been said that a building today costs 30% more than it has to just because of the inefficient way that we design buildings, we select and source the materials, we install the materials, or we build the building. That we have never really approached that where every other industry has. We think about years ago when the first flat screen TVs came out, how much they cost and how much one costs today. The building material industry, the construction industry has not gone through that, but we are entering into that phase right now. One company that I think that really gets this, that I noticed at the Builder Show, is MyTech. When I looked at MyTech's exhibit, it really nailed this. And they had a great number, every graphic on their booth, talked about how you could improve your productivity, reduce waste and inefficiency. It didn't talk once about their software or trusses or connectors being better. It was talked about how MyTech understands the challenge you're facing and can help you. And they had a couple of examples. It said Payne Family Homes is saving $2,000 per start. And for Payne Family Homes, that was $560,000 saved in 2018 alone. And then another statement said McBride Homes cut 2 weeks off cycle times on all starts. So you start looking at the time value of money and the value of getting a home buyer into the home 2 weeks sooner. And that's some pretty powerful stuff. And I remember back in 2012, I went to the Builder Show in Orlando that year. And I saw this booth from MyTech, and it frankly looked very, it didn't look very good. It looked very amateurishly put together, and I didn't really take the company that serious. But I went back and I looked through my photos from that show, And there was their headline at the top of their booth said, "Drive out building costs and waste. We'll show you how." So, they've been onto something for years before Katerra. They've seen this and been going in that direction. So they would be another company that I would pay attention to about how they are communicating to the builder and see how you or your product can do it. Now, when I say the builder, this is also going to relate to the architect. It's also going to relate to the general contractor, the facilities manager, the owner developer, any of those customers this is going to relate to. The other thing I found at the show, I always like to, whenever I go to a show, at the roofing show, I hooked up with a roofing contractor that I know, and we walked the show a little bit. And I just ask him questions. What do you think of this? What do you see here? Is this a good idea? And I did the same thing at the Builder Show. And I spent some time walking the show floor with Tom Benedict, the Vice President of Purchasing at Wayne Homes at the Builder Show. And the three big takeaways that I took away are that when he goes in a manufacturer's booth and the manufacturer shows them their product and shows them why it's better, that Tom actually believes it's better. He goes, yeah, that is a better product. Okay. But he still doesn't buy it because they've presented it incorrectly. Number one is they present it as my product's better than this other product, but they didn't position it in a way that's a solution to a problem that he has. So it comes off as, yeah, that would be nice to have. Yeah, my homes would probably be a little better if I used your product, but I'm not going to sell any more homes. I'm not going to make any more money. Maybe all I'm going to do is feel better at night today I built a little better home. And today that's not enough of a reason to switch. The other reason that he doesn't buy, with many products, the contractor plays an important role. And you need to sell both the builder and the installing contractor in order to make the sale. Because I found where Tom said, I really like this product, but my contractor is expected to install a product and to guarantee it at a certain price and within a certain period of time. And I'm not going to tell him how to do his job. As long as he's delivering what I want at the end result, then I'm happy. I'm not going to get into how he should be doing things. But I really do like this product. So there's that challenge of both the builder and the contractor need to be covered with many products. The other one that I witnessed with Tom, and he tells me, he's told me this in the past, is that how you walk into a booth or a salesman comes and calls on him and immediately starts selling. And I saw that with him. We'd walk in some exhibits and the salesperson was off to the races and trying to sell. And the ones that did much better were just a little calmer, and they'd first start out taking time to ask Tom questions about what type of builder he was and what issues he was having, what problems he's having. So they took time to ask questions and to listen, and then they started to sell. And the difference was they had identified what problem was the builder trying to solve, and then they were presenting their product as a solution to a problem the builder's trying to solve. Much better chance of success taking that approach. And the final thing I learned was we went to a couple of booths of companies where they have bought from the same manufacturer for a long time. I mean, over 10 years. And I asked why so loyal to these manufacturers. And he told me how that these manufacturers, it's not just their product, but there's an overall sense of they are committed to helping him be more successful as a builder. They're looking out constantly for ways that they can help their builder customer be more successful on a regular basis. They don't wait to be asked for things. They're proactive in how to help the builder. So somebody walks in with a lower price, that doesn't matter. It would have to be a lot lower price. It really is about, I don't have to worry with this particular type of product. I don't have to worry. Somebody's got my back. And so you want to take that approach. It's challenging today with how rapidly we seem to turn over salespeople out in the field. Builders will, many times will show me like how many business cards they have over the last few years of salespeople from a company that just keep having turnover. So of course, it's great when a salesperson stays in the job. Salesperson can develop a relationship with a builder and so forth. But what's more important is the company kind of have the way they do business is about, we're here to help builders be more successful. We're not just here to pump as much product out and get them to buy as possible. When you have that attitude, then as you change salespeople, this is just a natural part of how we do business, and it's a lot easier to take when the salespeople change. So think about how you can make your builder, architect, contractor, whoever you're calling on, how they can view you as somebody that has their back, and not just by your ability to respond and solve issues, but your ability to proactively be bringing them suggestions how to make things better. So I think if you look back at what I learned the last couple of weeks, one is nobody's looking for a better product. In the case of contractors, they're specifically looking for, how can I save labor? How can I get more done with the labor I have? How can I make better use of the labor I have? And in the case of builders and everybody, how we're really driving out waste and inefficiency. So anything that you can step back and take a look and say, how can I help my customers be more successful by taking out unnecessary steps, unnecessary costs, is the real key to success, I think, certainly over the next 12 to 24 months as we go through this huge change in the industry. So I hope I've given you something good to think about this week. And if you feel that your company could benefit from some outside thinking to help you be more successful with your customers, that's what I'm here for. So please contact me.
Thank you for listening to this podcast from Mark Mitchell on building materials, sales, and marketing. We hope he gave you some fresh perspectives on how to grow your sales, and will listen to future episodes.